Woohoo! And we're live once again
Hey.
on another Tuesday, and I have the smooth as silk man in the house. I love your voice. Woohoo! I got Juma
Uh,
Bannister here today, which is an absolute complete honor for me to have him on my show because he has put so much valuable content about my show and made video content. So it's a little bit meta
right.
there. So that's kind of fun.
It's a
But
tiny bit.
Juma, welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we get stuck in, can you go ahead and I will bring up our banner. We're talking about crafting a video content strategy today. And
Yes.
you're such a pro. This was a perfect topic for us. So can you please just introduce yourself and then we'll start talking.
All right. Thank you, Gillian. Thank you for having me on. My name is Juma Bannister. I'm the creative director of Relate Studios. And on LinkedIn, I help people create useful content, particularly focusing on video. And I love to do that. I love to create video and create video content. And usually you can find me on LinkedIn and TikTok, although I'm kind of slowing down on that these days. But that's what I love to do. I love to create video content. I help video people with content strategy, and that's what my company does. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's interesting. We were just talking before we went live today, and we started talking about taking breaks when you do LinkedIn Lives and you're doing
Mm.
regular content as part of your content strategy. That's kind of like a thing to just kind of keep in the back of our heads is how can you build your strategy so that you have some gaps in your life because you still have a life. So you have to figure out vacations and, just downtime, recharge time and stuff like that too. So before we kind of go anywhere, Juma,
Hmm.
in case we have some newbies or even veterans and they're
Right.
thinking about video and what would even, before we do anything, what would be a video content strategy? So let's just define that as a term first.
All right. So a video content strategy is the structure that you put together in order to know what content to release, when you're releasing it, the types of topics you're going to focus on, and just overall, it guides the way you craft your videos over a period of time. And
I
so
love
it
that.
it and the thing is that a strategic would imply is that at the beginning you must have a goal. I want to get to this place with the content, and you create the videos according to the plan you've made, and you follow the plan and you track it and you measure it until you get to that place that you have predetermined beforehand.
Wow. That's very precise and very strategic, which is like, I think the opposite of what so many of us do. We start off on LinkedIn and we're like, oh, I got to do video. What does that mean? And they just turn on their camera and they just start talking about who knows what. And then they don't post for 3 months. And then they post 6 videos in a row. And then they disappear for another 2 months. That's not a strategy.
No,
That's just
no, no.
that's not good at all. That's not good at all. So, do you also recommend kind of knowing who we should be crafting our videos for, having that idea of who's on the other side of our videos?
Absolutely, absolutely. That is one of the 5 things I tell people when they are going to create content. So the list is like, just really quickly, who am I? Like, who you are, your expertise, your values, your story. What do you want to be known for? What is the thing that you want people to say about you when they are not looking at your content or they're sharing it with
Mhm.
somebody else? Then you have, who am I talking to, which is what you mentioned. Like, who is the ideal person you would want to buy from you, and who would you want to really buy into your content and become a loyal person, a fan, and somebody who would buy from you. And how does what you're sharing benefit them? What are the long-term benefits, the short-term benefits of your content that you're sharing? How does it benefit the people who will interface with it? And then, of course, you have to have your long-term goals for your own business and how that will grow. So those are like the 5 things. So the third of those 5 things is, who am I talking to? And that's very
Mhm.
important to know.
Mm. I agree. I agree because I think there's this pressure that it's like I'm talking to all of LinkedIn.
Right,
And we're
right.
not. We're not. We're
Mm,
really talking to our specific, I talk like if you're a job hunter, you're making videos with
mhm.
hiring managers and headhunters
Yes,
and
yes,
recruiters in mind. If you're
yes.
building your business, you're looking for your ideal customer or people that could be connectors for you to to
Mhm.
to work with other people. So I think that's really, really important. How when we talk about content strategy, do you
Mm.
actually like calendar out your videos? Like, what's sort of your planning process?
All right, so generally, I don't calendar my videos. What I do is that I have the topics. So how it works, if I could just do a just example. I know
Absolutely.
I know I'm going to talk about these 5 topics. I don't usually suggest that you go past 5, like 3 to 5 maximum. So I'm going to talk about content strategy, about video, about lighting, about this. So I have these top level things. And then what I would do is I would say on this grid above here, these are these 5 things. And on the side grid, I have how to, common mistakes, shift in belief shifts. And I have a list of things going down there that I could talk on. And so as you cross-reference the grid, you have lighting and you have a how-to. I create a how-to lighting tutorial. And so it gives you just a general grid of ideas you can come up with. You still have to go find this stuff because lighting, how-to lighting could be almost anything. You still have to go find it, but it gives you a starting place as to how you're going to come up with it. And then what I do is that I save from beforehand. I'm going to post on, let's say, Mondays on my day to post, or Tuesday on my day to post, or I have the live show that is always set on a Thursday. And so I kind of schedule it that way. But in recent time, I've been a lot more flexible. I'm saying, let me try posting in the evening time instead. Or let me take some of my thoughts that I just have during the day that's relevant and just post it with text instead. And I've been trying a few new things. And that's very important, that even though you have a strategy, you start with the structure, but then you still test and see what might work and you go along with that. So there's a structure, yes, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, or whatever it is. But then you still have to have some flexibility to share some of your ideas freely inside of that.
I love that. I love that. And do you also repurpose some of, like, I know you have your lovely LinkedIn live show that you do. Do you repurpose some of that video, or do you just you do it, it's the replay and then you move on? Or are you doing a combination of some videos, but repurposing your lives too?
That repurposing is such a big deal. It's such a big deal. Like I had done a lot of clips from my live show last year. Everybody who was on basically got a clip. This year, not so much, because I was focusing a lot on doing TikTok short form content. So I had less time. But what had happened is that I took a lot of the content across from there and I brought it into LinkedIn. Now I couldn't bring everything because not everything was relevant. But I would say 40% of the content across there, which was under 2 minutes, I brought it across to LinkedIn. And then what I'd also done is that I would repeat the videos. So there's a video that Chris Hennessy, that I was on a show yesterday, and he was talking about this video that had impacted him so much with the ring light setup that was done. And when he was talking about it, I realized, hold on, you're talking about it when I posted it 9 months ago. I just I just updated it and reposted it like a month ago, and people love it. So it's got more views than the first time I posted it. But I realized that 9 months ago he saw it and he implemented it, and he's now telling me about this. I didn't know this, that I've been sharing that tip with so many people. And so I can't remember the question he asked me, but the point is that content, or repurposing, is that content could be either I could pull it either from the live show, or I could take a piece of content and then just tweak some adjustments and then post it again at some point in the future.
Love it. Love it. That's great. That's great. And then when you were doing, so are you still doing a lot of TikTok, or not quite as much TikTok?
I hit a milestone of 200 videos on TikTok, and then I slowed all the way down.
Wow, that's a huge milestone, though. Wow.
Yeah, I made a 200 video, 200 video, and then I kind of I used to post every single day except Sundays, and now I just post whenever I feel like, because I've kind of proven, I've tested the platform and I know how to navigate it now, and I could tell people this will work. Now I'll have to go back and do more testing in a few months' time because the algorithm may change. But in terms of how people behave on TikTok, I've discovered what works. And so if I go back, I could activate it once again, and it shouldn't be a problem, So I've kind of slowed down on that. you know.
That's good. But it's like another tool set now. So it's like with if you had a client come to you tomorrow and say, I want to do LinkedIn videos and I also want to do TikTok videos, you could craft a content strategy that would say, okay, on LinkedIn, you're going to do this, but on TikTok, you're going to do that. Or do you find that you don't do much difference, or you do a lot of difference to tweak your videos?
There is a difference, and depending on the person and how they want to appear publicly, what they want to be known for, you definitely have to change the way they present the videos. Some people, unfortunately, are just not going to be the people who are animated and out there, and that's just not them. They have information to deliver, and so while you say, okay, well, if you want to deliver useful content, you could do edutainment, which is education and entertainment in one. But they just may not be like that, or it may take them 2 months or 3 months to get up to speed with doing it in a way that is entertaining. So and so when you want to craft something that works across platforms, it's a lot more challenging. What I would say is that you can port the content, but have a primary, and know that the primary will kind of tell you what kind of how you want to appear and how you want to be known by people. And so I often would say, yeah, you can take the content from TikTok and bring it across to LinkedIn, but be very mindful that the content that works best on each platform is content crafted for that particular platform, even though you can repurpose it and bring it across and all those different things. So sometimes we do it separate. Sometimes someone doesn't want to go to the trouble, and we say, oh, all right, just change the orientation, crop it. We can put titles, put the subtitles this way, and change it a little bit, and then you put it across on the other platform. So it just depends on how the people want to appear.
Love it, love it, love it. And are you also do you do YouTube? Do you do the YouTube shorts?
Yeah. So for me personally, no. I've literally posted one single YouTube short. Just that was months ago, just to test it out. But generally, Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts is basically kind of the same. Obviously, the limitations on YouTube Shorts are on 1 minute.
Right.
TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Reels are 1.5 minutes, and TikTok is up to 10 minutes now. So
wow.
Just once the video is under 1 minute, you can use it across the platforms. It's fine.
Wow. That's really interesting. Okay. Okay, that's great. That's great. So, with your with your own video content strategy, you talked about having your sort of your buckets, your content buckets of your themes. I really think that's a good idea. And then sometimes in marketing we talk about like the customer journey, and it's like, everybody's kind of like your prospective customers go through a different sort of a journey, a truly customer journey. And so different videos are at different stages of the customer journey. Do you kind of feel that like with LinkedIn, it's primarily most of the videos we're making is about customer awareness, it's brand awareness, it's people going, oh, who is she? Who is he? What do they do? Do you kind of think all parts of the customer journey are good on LinkedIn, or just more sort of the brand awareness?
That's a really good question. And I would say that it depends on what the person's goals are. But in terms of growth and people getting to know you, you could start with awareness content, which is like how to do something type of thing, which is like across the board that will be kind of relevant to a lot more people. And you could do that, and you could continue to use that as part of your demand generation strategy, or whatever you want to call it. But if you kind of go deep, you can differentiate yourself. And so I would say at some point, in some way, shape, or form, you have to have an opportunity to go a bit deeper. You're going to lose a lot of people, but the people who are really interested will be like, oh, okay, I can relate to this. And so you give top of funnel content, like things that are lighter, getting to know me, awareness content, tips and tricks type of thing. But then you want to go deeper into, this is the process of the thing. this is the outcome, the results, and all those different stuff. You might want to go a little bit deeper, and it will cause people to be like, oh, I could really, this person sounds like they know what they're talking about. Maybe I should give them a call or send them a DM or something like that. And
I like that.
yeah, it just depends on your goals, you know?
I like that. And it reminds me of John Esperian's book of the content DNA, that it's like,
Yes.
really be sure about what you want to be known for. And if you're trying to be too many things to too many people, you just become kind of wishy-washy. So you almost have to kind of really, to precision of what exactly do you stand for, so that people just go, oh, like for me, as soon as I hear useful content, I think of you. Like, it's like I hope that's your intention, but it's like, that's
Yes.
the name of your show. You start off with that, all of your themes. It's like every video that you do, I learned from. Like, especially too, like when we talked about having a close, and you talked about having like, a beat at the end, and you knew when to turn on the video and turn off the video. And just that was so useful. That was so useful to know. And you took a my live and then turned it into a teachable lesson. So it's like, that's your theme of, you're always showing us how to sort of level up with video. So I hope that's the intention, because that's what I get.
Yeah, that's part of it. And that is like the story you will tell about me. And like, if I were to talk about you, I would say, hey, Gillian, easy peasy video. These are the things she talks about. I'll talk about, because I learned from you about Subly at one point. You were talking about Subly, and that was a thing. And so I have a sense of, when Gillian turns up, this is how she turns up. This is what she's known for. And so that is really very important. So shout out to John Esperian, good book. And he's down in the comments as well. So
okay, well, how about we hop onto some comments, and we'll see what we got. Okay, so we always have Jeff Young in the front row. I always love Jeff Young. It's the Gillian and Juma show. That's too soft cheese, as in GIF, which is a form of video to me. That's cute. What do you think? Where do you think GIFs come into the whole video content? Are they just silliness, on your opinion, or are they actually part of video crafting?
I have a soft spot in my heart for GIFs, because I came from a print background, and many people don't know this, but GIF stands for Graphics Interchange Format. So like back in the days when we would learn about JPEGs and GIF, we would learn about what it means and how it came about, and the compression, lossless versus lossy compression, and all the technicalities behind it. That's what I learned in school when I was learning about how to do things in print. And so I have a soft spot for it in my own heart. And so I like to include GIFs in my videos if it's relevant. So like, if I'm saying something, if it's like an edutainment piece, and I'm saying something, and you can include something that is kind of relevant, but also kind of entertainment inside of that, yeah, definitely you could use it, and it enhances the video and keeps people's attention longer. Yeah.
Awesome. I love him too.
Yeah.
It's our buddy Gabe. Hello there, everyone. Glad to see Juma Bannister and Gillian Whitney on the same stream. This is going to be a wonderful conversation. Thank you, Gabe. One of our fellow streamers that we did that big thing for Ilya and Ilya Francis, and we talked all about live streaming, and it was like, oh my gosh, what a crew that was. That was awesome. Juma, your profile video says you are 6'7" tall. Now that's a tall video.
Yes, it is. That's why I said I for years I never shared that. People didn't know, but now it's out, the cat is out the bag, and so everybody knows. And when they see the pictures, then they could really tell for sure. So
oh my gosh. And I think we're both members of Espresso Plus, correct? Are you a member of Espresso Plus?
I'm not a member, and John will put a sad face in the comments right now. I'm not a member of Espresso Plus. I wanted to be, but at the time, I wanted to really be a contributor, and because we were doing so many things on my side, I couldn't commit to it.
Bad timing. But I remember that we were in the free group together, and one of the things that we did related to video was we did a video like an introduction, but to help people kind of get over the hump. And I think this is actually a fun thing that anybody could do on LinkedIn is we did 2 truths, 1 lie. And I think somewhere in there was about you being tall. I think that was was it one of your things? Because yours was like really hard. I didn't guess it.
I you never think that yours is that good, and I was like, how can I be a little more provocative with my 2 truths and a lie? One of them was about me going to Dubai and getting identified as a basketball player for some national.
Oh, that's
team.
why. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's where the hype came in. Yep,
that's where the hype came in. Yeah. Yeah, I did go to Dubai. That did not happen.
Okay. Well, you should repost that video. It was a good video.
Maybe.
It's a good one. Okay, yes. Jeff Young, that is indeed a tall order to watch. Good to see 2 of my favorite video experts together. Tonight's menu: roast lamb, peppers, and garlic.
Are you offering the cookers dinner? Are you going to share, John? Is this a thing?
No, he's just being proactive because whenever I'm doing a live, he shows up and he's cooking, and I always ask him what's for dinner, and actually everybody else asks him what's for dinner. So now he's just like, I have to tell you my menu in advance so I can get on with the cooking. I can't stop and do all this texting, which is great.
Right.
Supporting the UCC live community. What's the? I'm drawing a blank. What is that? What's the UCC?
So useful content community is what UCC is. Oh, okay. And the bulbs, like you can see the bulb here, the light bulb is what we throw up. So that's why Gabe is doing that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. Yeah. That's great. Now, is that like, do you have a paid community? Is that a membership group that you have?
I have a free Facebook group. So that is like a group where I test a lot of content, help people out and stuff like that. It's very chill. And it's not a paid group. So I have that for people who just want to learn stuff. So it's not like something I am super like, what's the word?
Promoting?
Yeah, exactly. But for people who kind of find it, I'm like, hey, cool, come in, chill with us, share content, try to get better at stuff. And I go live in there sometimes, and so that's cool for me.
And that's not LinkedIn. That's on Facebook. That's on Facebook.
That's on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And if anybody wants to go to that, just send you a message, and then you'll give them a link or invite or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Send me a DM.
Cool. Okay. Jeff says, laugh out loud, Gabe Liel. It makes camera position kind of important to you. Now, actually, somebody asked me this the other day, and I wanted to get your thoughts. They said, do you find it's different if you film your videos standing up as opposed to just sitting? Do you have a different energy when you do your videos? I pretty much always do mine sitting down, but do you find there's any difference? I see a lot of times you're like kind of flying into your chair, and I like that. I like that because it captures me. It's a great hook.
Yeah. I've learned to enjoy sitting. I when I do videos standing up, I'm probably on the move somewhere. It's highly unlikely that I'll do a video standing while I'm at the office or in the studio. But yeah, I mean, you could say there's a different type of energy when you have a standing video. But I've learned to transfer that to sitting down, all my chair antics.
Our thrones. They're like our thrones. They're like our thrones. Oh, yes. Okay. So Rebecca Wilson says, a little late, but didn't want to miss this one. 2 of my fave creators. Hello from Scotland. Woo-hoo.
Hello from Scotland, Rebecca. Rebecca's such a darling. Yeah, she's very supportive.
She's very supportive, and I have to give her an extra plug and an extra shout because she is the one who said I should consider having you on my show. And I went to Rebecca and I was like, is that going to want to do my show? And she says, ask. And I asked, you said, of course I'll do your show, Gillian. But it was just like, I just thought you were like so busy doing so many things. I thought, it's not going to come on my show. And she's like, ask. So I love that message because I think we just put things in our own head sometimes about whether we're approachable or not approachable or this and that and everything else. So thank you, Rebecca, because he said yes.
Yeah, yeah.
she's
You kind
very
of have to be willing to get a no. Like you have to be okay and willing to get a no. Otherwise, you'll never give yourself an opportunity to get a yes.
yes,
So
yes.
it's
And I
important.
think, and that's probably one of the things with getting on video content is
Yeah.
we can sometimes be our own worst enemy.
Mhm,
And there's like little people that take up residence in our house, in our head. We should charge
mhm,
them, for
mhm.
doing that. And they're the ones that are like, well, who would ever want to hear me do a video? Who would
Yes,
ever want,
yes, yeah.
what hasn't it all been said? But it hasn't been said by you, correct?
Yes, yes, yes. That's so true. That's so true. And you know that's why my number one rule is who am I?
Mm,
Sit down and think about it. Think about what are your values, what is your story, and what is your expertise. Think
mm,
about that. Write those things out. Actually, note those things. And if you start with a platform of understanding who you are, then you understand that you have value to deliver, that you can help
mm.
people, that you are able to do something that can contribute to somebody else growing, and in return you can have growth. And so you don't start from your lack, you start from you are full of resource, and you actually have something to say that is important. And
I
so
love that.
it changes your mentality inside of that. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Juma, my favorite is how-to video. That's why I like working with Jillian, because we make a
Right.
great team. And it's true.
Yes, yes.
How-to videos are, that's kind of like the back pocket videos that if you're really
Mm,
not sure what to do, just think about what's easy for you isn't
mm,
necessarily easy for someone else. And
correct.
sometimes the most simple things like, I found this thing where it's like you can do a test on Zoom, and I made like a little thing about it, and it was like I thought everybody knew about that, but they didn't. So it's all those like little tips and tricks.
I'm trying to remember. There was a video from you about Zoom. That was a while ago.
Those
Uh,
custom filters, how you can put up like a barcode. You can do a video in your waiting room. You can have a video play in your waiting room. Like I've done a lot of Zoom things, and I'm not a Zoom trainer. I just like to use the video for Zoom.
right, right. There was something, and I was like, "Oh, that's impressive." And I think that may have sparked me to say, "Okay, I use Zoom all the time. So, let me just talk about how I utilize that tool, not in the same way that you use it probably, but I use it all the time. Big secret, right now I am actually using Zoom at this very second. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
how are you doing that?
So
How are
while
you
we
doing?
while we are streaming, Zoom is recording me on a Zoom call right here.
Wow.
And so it's recording separately right on this side right here. So I'm seeing two of me.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
That's really interesting. That's
Yeah.
really interesting. Okay. Well, cool. And then how will it look? Like, will it look different than the stream that I give you at the end? Like, how
Right.
does it differ?
So the stream you give me at the end will have both of us in it,
Right?
right? This one will just be my window.
Wow.
It'll just be my window. And sometimes I do that just in case, I said something I need to go back and I said something that is reasonably good. Let me go let me go and do something with it.
See,
So
you're
yeah.
this is what makes you the expert because it's like you're always like one step ahead. That's an awesome tip. I'll have to think about that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while it's like you're like, what else can I be doing? What else can I do? And it's very interesting as video content creators.
Mm-hmm.
When I popped in, I wasn't on StreamYard yesterday. I was traveling.
Right.
So I got onto StreamYard today. It was the first time I've been on in a week. So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Sarah Burgess for the heads up on this. There's now a video trimmer within StreamYard. And
Oh, they
so
got
when
it.
pardon me?
So they got it. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, or either it's coming, but there was like a video about it today when I logged on to StreamYard, which
Mm,
makes you realize that it's like there, all these third-party tools, and StreamYard is a live stream party tool, are helping you create videos. So you can actually
mm,
take your videos and clip them now within StreamYard.
mm,
So it just makes you realize that we're getting more and more tools to add to our video toolbox. So I think it's incredibly cool. So we are, thanks for the shout for content, Dine. We're both big fans of that book. It's good, great book, John, really great book. So Juma, we're pretty much almost at the end of our 30 minutes. So I wanted to just ask you, do you have a sort of takeaway, something you want to leave us with, some sage advice?
Yeah, so I would say that I know you've heard this already, but start with whatever you have with video. But if you want to upgrade, one of the things that I always talk about is lighting. Light is so critical when you want to increase the quality of your video. Most times you don't have to change your camera, you just have to improve the light. So I would say if you want to improve the quality of how you appear, look to the light first, and then you can change all of the other things thereafter. So that's the only thing I would leave with people, that really focus on your lighting, and if you want to improve the visual quality of your videos.
I love it. I love it. That's a great tip. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for being here today. I encourage everybody to reach out, connect with you, follow you, and you have just so much useful content. Go check out Juma's featured section and go back and look at some of his lives. His lives are just top notch. And you just always have so many great tips. So thank you so much. So thank you for being here today, and we'll see everybody next time, and we'll see you soon. Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.